Alright, pit crew, I just want to start off this video by firstly saying thank you. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me. We hit 200 subscribers a few days ago, and I just want to let you guys know I'm super excited and I'm not going to let you guys down. Secondly, this video was supposed to be 2 separate videos, but I decided last minute to go ahead and make them one, so the transitions might be a little bit weird, and I apologize for that. It wasn't in my game plan when I was recording them, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so it's been a while since I started the truck up. The starter sounds awful, and typically I wouldn't let you guys hear something this awful, especially on camera, but this is a warning to you guys. This sounds awful, so and it may take a second to crank. So we're gonna pump the gas pedal quite a bit here. Oh, I disconnected the battery. All right, now the battery is connected. Oh, this keeps bugging the crap out of me. All right. Again, this is sound awful, so this is just a warning. I'm letting you guys only hear it, so that way you guys know what I'm trying to fix. Well, it is open headers. The starter didn't sound awful that time, but it is definitely grinding it. But I think it might only take about 1 shim or so. We're gonna let it run for a second. I have a few sponsored items. I have a radiator, you guys already know, and the same company, Audexen, who sponsored the headlights for my Nova, reached out to me over the weekend, and they're like, hey, we actually just got in headlights for these trucks, and so they sent them out to me. I don't know a lot of information about these. All I know is they are really awesome. I didn't even get a chance to really look at the link. I was just like, heck yeah, I won't tell you no. You know what I mean? Like, free's free, so I'm not going to complain, and they're awesome. These should be plug and play. I imagine it does have these adapters. I'm not for sure what they're for. Maybe there's instructions in here. There's 4 adapters. I don't know if maybe they're for these headlights are also used on like Peterbilts and big trucks like that. Maybe they're extensions because they look to have the same plugs, so they're probably some sort of extension. Here's what they look like. They do have a plastic covering on them, but let me take it off real quick for you. So they look super awesome, especially compared to stock. And the good news is since these are stock kind of replacements essentially, I shouldn't hopefully have to trim anything. But if I do, you guys already know I'm capable of doing that since we saw that in my last video. But these are just like what you guys saw in my Nova. These are plug and play. Like when I say that the wiring harness plugs right in. I'm trying to do this one hand, it's a pain in the butt. The wiring harness plugs in, other than any possible trimming you might have to do whenever you upgrade to these. So it looks like they get them off. I'm gonna have to take this cover off. There's a few screws, and so we're gonna see how well this goes, I guess. And I'll do you guys kind of step by step. It should be, again, this should be a straightforward experience. Everything should fit. So I guess I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. Alright guys, so real quick, before I show you guys these headlights and the installation process, there is an issue with this model of headlight that I have. They are working on getting it fixed. The issue is the person who designed them misunderstood the concept, and these headlights, or for whatever reason, they designed them to where only 2 of them turn on with the high beam switch instead of all 4 like it's supposed to be. So I had issues with these, but I reached out to Audexen and they are getting it fixed. They actually reached out to me first, let me know about the issue and asked if I had any struggles with it, and I did struggle with it. And is what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna have the link to these down below, because I don't know for sure if they're gonna swap links for it, or so in a day or two this link for these may not even work, because I know that they're currently unavailable on Amazon. So as what I'm gonna do, my Instagram is down below, or if you guys don't want to go click on the link, look up Aries Garage on Instagram and message me and ask for the link to it. That way you guys, I know you guys are getting a good link, and I don't have to worry about staying up to date on that, and you guys can, again, just get a good link. And I want to make sure you guys have access to these. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so I got this cover off. There's actually 2 screws up top, and they are a T15. You can see that, so they're the star heads or hex heads. They're always called different things. Looks like then we just have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on each. And then these look pretty thick, almost like the same thickness as the new headlights. So again, hopefully I won't have to cut and trim anything, but we'll just play it out and see what happens here. All right guys, I went ahead and put this one in. There is a gap there, as you guys can see, but if you come over and look at the passenger side here, it's got a gap as well. So that is, I didn't realize there was supposed to be a gap. I thought everything was supposed to perfectly fit in there, like, but it's not. From the factory it didn't, so it's not supposed to aftermarket either. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these again. There's just, each one is held in with 4 screws, and then you take the chrome housing off, and then if you want, if you have a show car, this would be a perfect time to polish up the chrome, but I'm probably gonna be replacing my chrome anyway. If you also look here, my housing is broke, or the trim. I left that piece up there because it's not in the way and I don't want to take it off and risk breaking into more pieces, because right now at least it's there. But yeah, so there's after and before. All right guys, so real quick, I figured out what these adapters are for. So this bottom headlight only has 2 prongs on it. The top has 3. So that's what these adapters actually allow you to do. You only need to run, on the bottom headlight, you only need to run the black and red wire. So you plug this end of the adapter into the headlight, and then into the headlight housing here that I originally plugged in, you put the red with the green and black with black, and then you get headlights. And let me show you real quick how that looks, the comparison wise. Okay. So right here, top, the yellow is the stock and white is the aftermarket, and this is just a few feet away from the wall, as you guys can see, so it doesn't even have enough distance to really disperse to show you guys the difference. So I'm gonna finish up this top one, and the top one you shouldn't need the adapter for, from the looks of it. Again, I'm gonna show you guys step by step how I'm doing each headlight, and then I'll let you guys know. But again, you don't have to run this yellow one. It's not important at all. So if anything, you can pull it out of the adapter and not even have to worry about it sitting in there and be noticeable. All right, so again, I'm trying to keep you guys updated step by step, and keep in mind, none of the issues I'm having have to do with the brand of these headlights. But right now, both of them are on, and they're really bright. The issue I'm having is that whenever I turn my high beams off, they aren't working. I got nothing up there. The light you guys are seeing is from the light on the wall, which I can actually go ahead and turn off. But so there's no light up here whatsoever. And again, let me give you guys a good show. So, this switch is janky. Okay, so we have headlights and then nothing. Whenever I plug in the original halogen, it's working. And so here's my situation. LEDs take less power than halogens, and that's where people say, oh, it saves you gas mileage, your alternator doesn't have to work as hard. You're never going to notice the gas mileage improvement from switching to LEDs. That's just the reality of it. Yes, it does take less power, and theoretically it makes sense, but you're not going to make more power and more gas mileage from switching to LEDs. So again, here, this headlight's working, but this one is nothing. And so that's the issue. These older vehicles are meant to put out a lot of power. They work with, they put out a lot of power to work these halogen headlights, and then whenever you switch over to LEDs, you're asking it to put out less power than it's actually capable of doing. So I imagine I probably need some sort of resistor. They make resistors for something like this, but I find it weird that my Nova, it worked just fine. And as well, just to show you guys again, let me grab my flashlight. Okay, so down here, so this top one takes the 3-prong, the bottom does not. So as you can see, there's no yellow wire. So I literally just took the yellow wire out, and so it is still, to me, that's plug and play, because you're still plugging these adapters in. It's not like you have to electrical tape anything, use connectors or anything like that. Super straightforward, just the red and white. So I don't know what exactly is going on here. I don't know if it's the way I have this bottom one wired up. Maybe I do have something wrong. Let me fidget with that real quick. All right, pit crew, so it took me a few days, but I did end up getting the headlights working. I'm gonna test them out later tonight to make sure they're bright enough, but they seem just fine. Let me show you guys real quick. It's gonna be kind of hard, I have lights on in the garage and everything, but this is just a quick, just to show you guys. So again, just keep in mind, I'm in a garage that's super well lit. Like, I have LED headlights, or not headlights, I have LED lights everywhere in this garage. So keep that in mind. They should be really bright. I haven't got a chance to test them out at night. And here is what, again, I already explained to you guys what the issue was, and here's essentially what I had to do here. Okay, so you have red on the bottom, yellow on the left, and black on the right. And down here, we're just running red and black. If you guys go and look, whenever you guys message me about the link for these, if you look on the link on Amazon, there's actually a diagram of how to, which wire is for what. So you guys don't have to worry about that. You know, there's more information there provided with these. But again, I ran into an issue with these. I had the first model of these, essentially, from my understanding. I was like the first tester. And that's the issue I'm having with them, but they're working now. I have, you know, they're working just fine. High beams and low beams work on them now. I don't know if it's going to affect it down the road. Essentially, is what I had to do is this one was only working as a low beam or a high beam, depending on how you have it wired up. And I actually have new springs for this one and adjusters. But anyway, I just had to swap these two. No matter how I wired them up, it wasn't working, and I went ahead and switched those. I'm assuming that's because only one of them is designed to be a high beam. But again, this is an issue that they are currently fixing. And so you guys shouldn't have to worry about that when you guys get yours. I don't even know if you guys may not even have to end up using these adapters. I have no clue. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't make sense that you would need these adapters because it's just plug and play. But anyway, just if you guys have any questions, just feel free to message me. Anyway, in the next video, which I'm actually getting ready to start doing, we are going to be replacing this radiator with an Alloy Works electric fan radiator. If you guys look here, these fan blades are torn up. I've sliced my fingers on these bad boys multiple times. They are disastrous and they need to come off. And this radiator isn't going to be a perfect kind of match. It's actually for a different truck, but I'll explain that to you guys in a little while, or in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, again, comment down below, message me on Aries Garage, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. I'm on TikTok as well, so be sure to check that out. I have some cool clips of the truck and transitions of these headlights. Alright, Paint Crew, so as most of you guys know, in the last video I talked about work I want to do to the Nova and how I kind of want to start from scratch, but not really start from scratch. Essentially, I want to rebuild this engine and do the things that I was scared to do before, now that I know what I'm capable of and I know what I can do. So I have a whole bunch of parts here. I still have more coming, but we're going to go ahead and unbox what I do have. And all this means is just about every leftover part I'm going to have, including the cam and everything, is going to go in the truck. So this does not mean that everything on the truck is on hold. I actually have some footage of working on some of the sponsored parts I have for the truck. I'm going to try to finish most of that up today and then let you guys get a video of that. But anyway, I thought I'd just do a quick unboxing to kind of show you guys what all I have planned for the truck. Some of the stuff is not quite exciting. This first box here is one of those boxes that isn't super exciting, but I figured I'd just kind of show you guys what all I did and didn't want. So right off the bat, we have two things of zinc, one for break-in and one for right after. And then I should have more coming. Again, I know I'll have more coming. And then one thing I also talked about, one thing I also talked about was how I was initially afraid to paint the engine. And so the engine bay doesn't look as good as it could. And that's one of those small details, but again, it's something that I wanted to be happy with. We got a newspaper. We actually have something there about an oil cooler, which is something that I will be looking into eventually. Anyway, right off the bat, this should be the paint and the clear coat for the engine, and we'll talk about what all we have here. Also, on the zinc stuff, I've talked about what I've used in the past before. This is Riesland Hyperlube ZDDP supplement. Nothing fancy, but it's what I run. There's so much stuff out there on the market about it all. You know, everyone has personal preferences at this point. That's just what I've used. Okay, engine paint wise. Alright, I'm just going to plow through these cans because the other two are the exact same. I've gone with Chevy red. This says Chevrolet orange/red. It's not orange. This is red. I didn't want to go with Chevy orange. I'm not a fan of Chevy orange. This might turn out to have a little bit of an orangish tint, but I wanted to go with more red. And then just to be safe, because I wanted something that I could, like, if I spill oil or something on or got greasy handprints, I could wipe down. So I decided I'm gonna go with the clear coat. So I got 2 cans of each. I do have as well this box. I had something else. I had Christmas gifts in this box, so I did have to go ahead and open these. But I did go with some Rust-Oleum high heat header, or this is grill paint. But from the reviews, people have said they've used it on headers and stuff, The issue with the actual header paint is you have to bake that in an industrial oven, and I don't have one of those. This stuff you don't have to bake at all. So I figured, you know, some guys said they had great luck using it on headers, so I'd give it a go. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't work out for me, but this is like a kind of like a metallic color. It's not super chrome looking, but it's also like just a good metallic color. This box came messed up, so I had to go ahead and pull it out. The lifters aren't here yet, but we do have the cam. So, as a lot of you guys know, everything I've done on the Nova has been a rabbit hole. You know, everything has led to doing another repair, and it's just been a big rabbit hole. And this cam is probably going to lead to some rabbit hole type issues. Because my dad really wanted me to run a bigger cam. I really wanted to run a bigger cam, but I only wanted to do it with a torque converter. But, you know, you gotta live and you learn on some of these things, and I'd rather pull the engine for a torque converter rather than to tear it back down in the future. So in the future, if I have to tear it down to be able to throw a torque converter in there, that's fine. But anyway, this is a Summit K1107 cam. I'm running the 1103 cam in the car, and when that gets pulled, it's gonna go in the truck. I didn't want to pull this apart just to throw the same cam and lifters in there. Let's see. This is at the valve. This is a 487 intake and a 508 exhaust cam. So this is a pretty mean little cam. I think its power point is from like 3,000 to 6,000 RPMs, which isn't great for the streets. You know, I'm from stoplight to stoplight. That's gonna kind of suck a little bit. I might have to bump the idle up quite a bit. But honestly, it's going to sound really nice, and there's a lot of guys that I always review stuff, you know, whether it's stuff I know will work or not, I review it. And reviewing this cam, you know, all the technical guys out there that were running the numbers were like, oh, this cam is just too big for anything on the street, all this stuff. But there were a few guys who had actually ran this cam, and they're like, oh, I recommend this cam to anyone running 9.5 and higher compression. And so it's one of those, you know, if you sit and look at the numbers, you can sit there and tell yourself all day it's not going to work. And sometimes you just got to go for it. Like I talked about in my last video, I'm just going to go for it. You know, why hold myself back if I don't have to? And again, I fully understand what's going to happen. I know this is a rabbit hole for a torque converter, but I also said that this was a build between me and my dad, and it's going to stick that way. So no matter what you guys tell me in the comments about that cam being too big, I'm not going to listen. I already know what I'm getting myself into, and whether you guys would personally run it or not does not matter to me. But anyway, this should be my last package from Jegs. This should have just about everything. And I had initially ordered a slightly bigger cam from Jegs, like slightly bigger. But they were sold out of it and they put it on back order, so I canceled it and ordered this one from Summit. And this isn't even the cam. I was gonna run the 1106 cam from Summit, but they sold out fast. They sold out super fast on it. Okay. Some of these other parts I have in here. This is a individual length checker for a push rod. I use the stock length push rod on this engine, and I'm not 100% confident in that. I should have checked it from the beginning, but I figured just to be safe, I'd go and order one. This was like 15 bucks. I'll show you guys how we use it as you go along in this build. I plan to give you guys more in depth on literally everything. Okay, oil filters. I have two of them, one for the break-in and one for immediately after. This is, so I normally use the Fram HP4 oil filter, but it is a pain in the butt to get off. I always have to use a blowtorch to get it off, I kid you guys not. But that's because I'm running an oil filter adapter, because these did not, from the factory, use oil filters, and the HP4 is the recommended one with that. I understand the argument against Fram and everything, but Jegs had one that part matched with it, and I had tried running Wix before, the Wix racing number that also coincides with the HP4 filter, and it didn't work. It was a waste of money. So we're going to try Jegs. The HP4 Fram one is completely round and doesn't have these little slots on the bottom for an oil filter wrench or anything like that, so it's just a pain in the butt. So again, I got two of those. Part number is going to be JG302. I don't know if that's going to help you guys. Again, I'm running an oil filter adapter, so this isn't stuff that it may fit a stock small block. I'm not sure. So order that at your own risk. Okay. up top here, this looks like, this is the cam degree wheel kit. I'm not going to open this quite yet, but this is to degree the cam. This was about $100. I think it's actually 90. It's $100 from Summit. This one, yeah, this one was like 89 bucks, and it has everything. From what I understand, it has everything you need to degree your cam. Actually, I'll give you guys a part number real quick. This is an 11-inch. Part number is 81621. There's so much stuff here, guys. I'm not going to put all this stuff in the link or in the description down below. Plus, I also don't get paid to do that. So if I try to avoid doing that sometimes. Then, since we're degreeing the cam, and I tried to do this in the past, but again, I didn't degree the cam, so it didn't work out for me. I am going to run a timing pointer, but I also have to run this because I'm switching timing covers, and they don't really make aftermarket timing covers that have the built-in timing tab. So I have to figure out how to use that, and that should be relatively easy with the degree cam. This is a Felpro complete gasket rebuild kit, just in case. I know I was going to need a whole bunch of other small gaskets to this, like water pump gaskets and all that stuff. But this one, I just ordered this just in case I decided to go ahead and take the heads off to make it easier to paint. Whatever it was, I just decided to have this on hand. I was going to need intake gaskets and all sorts of stuff. So this was 40 bucks from Jegs. Part number is KS2600. It is Felpro brand. So it was like $43, I think, and they do have just top-end ones. But this is just literally all-inclusive. So I figured it's $10 more than the other one, so I figured why not. Okay, and then I decided to run, since I'm running the oil pan and I trust them pretty well, I decided to go with this Mylodon timing cover. Let's see, there is one that was cheaper. This was $33. They had one for like $20. The difference is, if you guys can see it, see this kind of like star-shaped thing right here? That is to allow it's like a cam locking thing. I don't know it's a cam thrust. I apologize, sorry. It's called a cam thrust. I have a comp cams locking plate on my cam now. I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to be able to reuse it or not. I've never taken one off, so I don't know if I'll be able to reuse it or not. And so this helps keep your cam in place, and just a lot of times, you know, in bad situations, if you don't torque your bolts down all the way, or you just have issues with it, your cam bolts can back out and destroy your engine. And this kind of helps prevent that, from my understanding anyway. Yes, okay, from my understanding, that's what it does. I don't know, I'm actually curious to see what all this has in there. There are $20 ones that it came all-inclusive, like even water pump gaskets and everything. But I don't know if this one does, and so I'm curious to see if it does. And that way you guys know, if you guys decide to change your timing cover. Let's see. Okay. It does not have anything. Okay, so that's okay. Again, this is why I wanted to order everything, because in order to take the timing cover off, I was going to need timing cover gasket, water pump gasket, all that stuff, and this is going to help out with that. Or that kit was going to help out with that. Okay, and last thing I believe we have in this box is Felpro valve cover gaskets, because I have center bolt valves, or center bolt head valve covers. I can't talk. I have center bolt valve covers in this kit. Since I have a first-gen small block, it comes with outer perimeter gaskets, and I need center bolt gaskets. So they might be interchangeable. I'm not sure. One issue I have with these are actually supposed to have. Whenever I use these, every time I've taken the valve covers off, I had to buy new ones every single time. They get stretched out. It is the pain in the butt, worst design ever. I don't know what's going on with it. It's so annoying. I also looked to replace the valve covers, because I thought maybe it was the valve covers, but that isn't 100% in the budget right now. Valve covers are close to $100. You can get some for about 70 or 80 bucks, but rounded up with shipping, everything, typically it's about 100. So that is the haul that we have for now, and this is a really short video, but you know, I wanted to get something out to you guys, so you guys knew what was going on, and I'm keeping you guys up to date on all this. And again, I have footage working on the truck. The truck is not taking a backseat. I cannot promise you guys that enough. The Nova, I'm gonna try to finish up the truck today, so that way I can pull the engine on the Nova this weekend, which today is Friday, and then on Sunday. So today's Friday, I want to work on the truck. I'll probably take Saturday off, and then Sunday I want to get out here and work on the Nova and get the engine pulled. I also, the main reason I haven't started yet is I gotta wait till my brother-in-law is home, so that way he can help me pull the hood off this thing. So that's part of the hold up there, is waiting till I have help doing that. So if you guys have any questions about any of these parts, you know, feel free to ask. I always try to help you guys out as much as possible. I have people message me almost every day with asking for information, whether it's about radiator or just engine parts or the car itself. Whether it's a Nova, a truck, or literally anything, guys, feel free to reach out to me. I help out as much as I can. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I always make sure I Google, and or I'll just let you know that, in my opinion, this is the best route to do something. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, pit crew, and I hope you guys have a great holiday.